The memory of death lingered like frost on Alara's skin. She remembered the Vrithian raiders descending on the colony, their chitinous armor gleaming under Beta Centauri's twin suns, their mandibles clicking with predatory hunger. She remembered little Crix, barely 5 cycles old, his azure scales still soft with youth, crying behind the storage containers. The child wasn't even her species, but that hadn't mattered. Not when his parents lay bleeding in the dust, not when those obsidian claws reached for him. Alara had thrown herself between the raiders and the child. She'd felt the plasma bolt pierce her chest, felt her heart stutter and stop. She'd fallen knowing only one thing: the cub would live. Then she'd opened her eyes in the arena of eternity. The galaxy's oldest and most revered tournament existed outside normal space. A pocket dimension where the universe's fiercest warriors competed for glory that echoed across star systems. Alara had heard stories, everyone had. Champions were selected from the dying, pulled from their final moments and given a choice: accept oblivion or fight for a second chance at life. She'd chosen to fight. Now 6 months later, Alara stood in the victor's chamber, staring at the holographic display of her opponents. 47 species, 47 champions, all dead by her hand. Impossible, the Galactic Council had declared after her 10th victory. Humans were barely spacefaring, primitive mammals from a backwater world. They had no enhanced physiology, no psionic abilities, no evolutionary advantages. They were prey species that had somehow stumbled into the stars, but they hadn't seen what Alara had seen. They didn't understand what humans became when protecting something precious. The Arena Master, a crystalline entity older than most civilizations, materialized beside her. Its voice resonated through frequencies that made reality shiver. You have achieved what no warrior has accomplished in 73,000 cycles. Tomorrow you face the eternal champion, Warlord Zaxthor of the Dominion Fleet. He has held the title for 900 years. Alara barely glanced at the master. Will my victory bring me back? Yes, you will awaken exactly where you fell, as if no time has passed. The cub will live. Then I'm ready. The crystalline being hesitated, an unprecedented reaction. You should know, Warlord Zaxthor has never been defeated. His species, the Crethons, are born in volcanic forges, can manipulate gravitational fields, and possess exoskeletons that can withstand supernova radiation. He stands 4 meters tall. His strength is, I don't care. Ilara's voice was quiet steel. I died for that child once. I'll die 1,000 times more if that's what it takes. The Arena Master shimmered with something that might have been respect. Your kind confounds us. You have no advantages, yet you fight as though victory is inevitable. We fight because it's necessary, Ilara replied. That's the only advantage we've ever needed. The next morning, the Colosseum of Stars materialized around her, an impossible structure visible from 1,000 worlds simultaneously. Trillions watched as Alara walked onto the obsidian sand, her simple plasma blade humming in her hand. Warlord Zaxthor emerged from the opposing gate like a living mountain. His armor was forged from collapsed stars, his eyes burned with the fires of conquest. When he spoke, his voice cracked the air itself. Human, you have impressed many. Your species may yet earn a footnote in galactic history. Surrender now and I will grant you an honorable death. Ilara raised her blade. I can't do that. Why? The warlord's confusion was genuine. You cannot win. My victories number in the millions. I am eternal. Because somewhere a little boy with azure scales is crying, and I promised I'd come home. The battle began. Zaxthor moved with impossible speed for his size, his gravitational manipulation making the very ground betray Alara's footing. His first strike created a shockwave that would have liquefied most species. Ilara rolled through it, feeling her ribs crack, tasting blood. She didn't slow down. What the Galactic Council didn't understand, what they could never understand, was that humans weren't designed for fair fights. They were designed to survive impossibility. Every scar in human history was written by someone who refused to accept the inevitable. Alara fought like her ancestors had fought, with intelligence, adaptability, and the kind of stubborn fury that had dragged humanity from caves to the stars. She analyzed patterns in microseconds, exploited weaknesses that didn't exist until she created them. When Thor's armor proved impenetrable, she didn't target the armor. She targeted the joints, the eyes, the ancient nerve clusters her medical training had taught her to find. She fought for 3 hours. The Colosseum fell silent as Warlord Thor, the eternal champion, dropped to one knee. Ilara stood before him, her body broken, but her blade steady at his throat. "How?" he gasped. "I am superior." "You're strong," Ilara acknowledged, her voice hoarse. "But I'm a mother." She wasn't, not biologically. But in that moment when she'd thrown herself in front of Crix, she'd become something more fundamental than species or biology. She'd become protection incarnate. The blade fell, reality fractured. Ilara awoke gasping, sprawled in the colony dust under Beta Centauri's twin suns. Her chest bore no wound. Behind the storage containers, little Crix peeked out, his azure scales catching the light, his eyes wide with wonder. The Vrithian raiders lay unconscious around her, teleported away by arena authority, their memories adjusted, the timeline corrected. Crix ran to her, tiny arms wrapping around her neck. "You saved me," he whispered in his musical language. Ilara held him close, feeling the warmth of life, the weight of impossible victory. Across the galaxy, trillions had witnessed humanity's true nature. The council would come. Questions would follow. Everything would change. But right now, in this moment, a child was safe. And that was all that mattered. That was all that had ever mattered.